Nah, movie, I hear you. Why would you use the giant, awesome alien space gun? Hey guys, just me today. It's honestly been a pretty slow week, so it's not really a big deal. I figured if I went to go see one of these by myself, and I don't know how many people really care about this movie, but enough people are talking about it that made me feel like, okay, maybe it's worth a look. Audiences apparently disagreed. It was me and 3 other people. Then again, it is also a Wednesday, and there's fucking nobody here. But anyway, so this is Ken. If you haven't heard of this movie, you're not familiar with it. It's the movie about 2 brothers who go on a road trip, and the younger one finds a space gun, and that's really about it. Honestly, you can piece together this whole fucking movie, except for the ending, which I'll get to, based on the trailer alone. These are 2 very different movies and very different ideas that are clashing, and they're not clashing head-on, and they conflict each other constantly. Mostly because I don't know what the story is behind this, but this does feel like, I don't want to say studio note, but it feels like someone wanted to make just a simple drama about 2 brothers taking a road trip, but someone's like, no, this is too cliche. We've done this a million times already. Let's do something new. Oh, how about sci-fi? Let's throw sci-fi in there. Just give him a fucking space gun. That'll be fine. And that's what they did. Now, to be fair, when the space gun is in the movie, it's actually pretty damn cool. The way the gun is designed, and the way it functions, and the way the CGI is used, and what it actually does, that's all pretty cool. The problem is, it's barely in the movie. Which is weird, because they make such a big deal about it in the actual movie. Like, it's the opening shot of the movie is, like, the battle where the gun gets abandoned, where the boy eventually finds it. But it's used so loosely for some reason, and again, I can only figure this was originally just a more straightforward drama that someone decided to throw a sci-fi gun in there for some reason, which is odd because the sci-fi things are the best thing in the movie. Okay, now to be fair, give credit where credit's due. All the actors in this movie are actually really good. The performances are all around really, really solid, and again, if maybe the movie focused on making the drama aspect more interesting, you would have had a really solid movie here. Because again, the acting's there. I know it has the one actor, I forget his name. He's been in a few things I've actually really liked. He's definitely one of those like lesser known actors that people really should pay more attention to, because he's really talented. He's a really good actor, and I'm gonna pull it up right now. Jack Rayner is in this movie, and he's really good. He's a really good actor. This is like the 3rd movie I've seen him in where I thought, this guy's underappreciated. He's also that asshole in Transformers 5, and I'm choosing to ignore that. Transformers 4, sorry. But he was also like in Free Fire, he was really good in that. He was in Sing Street, he was great in that. I'm sure he's in a bunch of other movies. He was in Detroit. He was great in Detroit. He's just a really good, lesser known actor who deserves the spotlight more. But I'm kind of sad this is where he gets it. And again, but it's not bad. It's not a bad movie, I would say. It just feels redundant. It definitely feels like a story. Like the minute it starts, once you get past the space gun, it feels like, okay, you've seen this before. You know where this is going. It follows every beat you imagine. The writing's not very good. But again, the actors are still really good. Like, the brothers have really good chemistry. Fucking James Franco, who I usually don't like, is still pretty good in this. I'll give him credit, even though he's given some absurdly cartoony lines. Like, what was my favorite was when the whole catalyst of this event is, like, Jack Rayner plays, the main kid's brother who just gets out of prison and goes back home, but he owes like $60,000 to this gangster played by James Franco. And to do that, he decides to rob his dad's office as a safe with that money in it. And as a result, the father comes in with the brother in the car. The brother's name is Miles, by the way. Oh no, I'm sorry. Jack Reynor was named the character he played. Wait, is it? No, Jack Reynor's actor. So Eli. I'm sorry. Eli was the name of the character, the main character in the movie. He's like this 14-year-old kid who just got suspended from school. He kind of has a troubled home life. His mother's dead. And just him and his dad and his brother again, who just got back from come back from jail. But anyway, so the father comes in during this robbery. A scuffle happens. Dad gets shot. Jimmy, the brother, panics, runs out of the car, realizes that his younger brother is in the car waiting for his dad. So he panics and goes in there and is like, hey, road trip! And uses some obvious bullshit lie that I'm kind of surprised the kid bought. But then again, he's 14. He's by nature an idiot. And they're basically running away from the gangsters because in the process, the gangster's buddy dies. And that's what led to this line that kind of made me chuckle, just into how silly it was. Because he's telling us, because James Franco's like doing a eulogy, like he's doing a fucking Viking funeral with like he's putting his body on pillars and like, not pillars, whatever the hell he call his when playing things. I'm drawing a complete blank. Starts with a P. It'll come to me later. But anyway, and then he tells him like, when I was just starting this, I was working on someone that was named Big Reggie, and he one day took my Walkman, so he went in there, stabbed him 6 times in the ear. That's not the dumb line. Although it was an interesting story to tell at a funeral. But no, the line that kills me, and he just walks over, he goes, what's something like Dutch or something like that, like you were a monster and I loved you for it, like something cartoonishly evil like that. And apparently he has some kind of weird like set of superpowers where he can just go in and no matter what is going on, he just immediately just controls the room, even though anyone could just like, I don't know, pull a gun on him. Like he goes into a gas station at one point and just like, can you use a bathroom? And he says, oh, sorry, no, bathrooms for employees only. So he just takes out his dick and starts pissing on the floor in the gas station. And meanwhile, he just goes, I can't pee when you're not looking, to the gas station owner. And the gas station owner turns around. It's like, you can't, like, I mean, I know he's got a gun and everything, but you can't just call the police or anything like that. Or, I don't know, I'm sure, like, if I believe any other movie in my lifetime, I know all gas station owners keep a shotgun under the desk. That's just common knowledge, he said sarcastically. But anyway. And then at the end, the climax of this movie, and we'll get to the climax, here's a fucking twist in this movie that comes out of nowhere. Where he just goes in there and just immediately goes into prison. By the way, spoilers if you really care about seeing this movie. So he goes, like, James Franco's character goes into a police station. That's where Jimmy, the guy he's looking for, has been locked up. And he just, within seconds of a police station full of cops, just kills all the cops and takes it over. Within seconds. With, like, no resistance, no security, no nothing. And I was like, what kind of fucking lazy-ass police station was it? Man, budget cuts hit hard. Stuff like that is like, oh, come on, man. Come on. I mean, I was already pretty bored of this movie to begin with, honestly, because, again, it's not the actor's fault. All the actors are doing a banged-up job. It just, the script gives nothing new except the space gun, which is barely used. So I was kind of like, dude, you're just, like, ridiculously, like, silly evil. But not silly you can laugh at so much. Just like, come on. But yeah. So that's James Franco in the character in a nutshell. But no, like, other than that, though, like, again, I felt like just a few more rewrites and you just try to get off the cliche writing. You really could have had a solid movie here, even without the space gun in it. Because, again, like, the actors are there, the talent's there, the chemistry is there. It's just like, why isn't this working? And it's kind of like, oh yeah, I've seen this movie before. I've seen this movie many times, and I've seen it done better. And when you just have lines in there, like when Jimmy pisses off one club owner, he goes like, nah, he's mine, and just hack lines, like, okay, I don't want to say hack lines, but just more like, okay, at this point, you're kind of having a hard time taking it seriously. And then, interspersed through all of this, you have these, like, two people that are, like, two sci-fi people that are constantly chasing our two main characters through the entire movie. But they're wearing, like, bad Halo 5 cosplay, and they have these kind of ridiculous looking helmets, but the sci-fi stuff that's still using is still really cool. It's like, ooh, that was the most interesting part, was when the sci-fi stuff happens, but the entire plot, like the entire sci-fi B plot, is them literally catching up to the main plot. Like, I'm honestly not really kidding, because like with the two Halo 5 rejects come in after the gun's already been taken, after the kid's already kind of started to fuck with it. Doesn't really fire it when he first gets it, though. And these two sci-fi people go after it, and then but the entire time is them going after it. Our two main characters don't actually meet. Not even our two main characters. Only Eli is the one that actually meets them. They don't meet them until like literally the last 5 minutes of the movie. The entire movie up to that point are these two ultra cool tech sci-fi people just catching up to the story. They're just catching up the entire time. And so, and it cuts at such random moments too. Like, you can have these two characters like at a motel, and they're talking, they're like having a heart-to-heart, and they're saying how nice it is to be brothers again. Next thing you know, like Master Chief and Sidekick are out using sci-fi tech to figure out where, like, to rebuild the crime scene using holographic technology and shit. And then it cuts back to like the drama stuff. So it's like, this movie's all over the fucking place. And then the ending happens. And it's batshit. Like, it's very weird. Allow me to explain. So up to this point in the movie, you're kind of like, oh, cool, space gun. Oh, okay, drama. All right, the acting's good. Okay. Oh, yeah, you're doing good, movie. Keep going. Oh, cool, you're actually using the gun. Sweet. Michael B. Jordan, what the fuck are you doing here? That's not an exaggeration. Michael B. Jordan is in this fucking movie. I don't know why. Apparently, he really wanted to make this movie, though, because he gets an executive producer credit, which is kind of weird. But Michael B. Jordan is one of the Halo 5 guys, and some other girl that I didn't recognize at the time. And he is this gigantic. Like, this is all the last 5 minutes of the movie, by the way, where just out of nowhere, the sci-fi guys finally catch up to the plot and drop off this time bomb, which freezes all the other dramas going on, so all the sci-fi dumpy stuff can happen. And then not only does it drop this like massive amount of information in a short period of time, it also fucking sequel baits in a way that's kind of baffling. In a movie that very clearly was not meant to be sequel baited either. Where Michael B. Jordan says, like, oh, the reason the gun only works for you is because you're one of us. You're a part of this race, and our race is at war, and we're gonna need your help. Like, the soldiers that you found that had the gun were out here to kill you, but we protected you from them. We try to get the gun away from you so that that way you wouldn't be aware of this world until you were ready. But one day we're gonna need you to fight the war. Now we're gonna open this portal back to our world, and we'll see each other again. ... brother. I'm like, that is not, again, I'm not exaggerating. They throw all this at you in the last 5 minutes of the movie, so you're just kind of sitting like, wait, what? Since fucking when? So weird. And it's Michael B. Jordan, who recently has done pretty good up until now. And thank God he had Black Panther and he has Creed 2 coming up to, like, subsidize for this, because otherwise this would be just like just a baffling cameo, and I cannot figure out why he thought doing this movie was a good idea. I mean, I can see why James Franco signed on for it, like, up until they add the sci-fi stuff in there. He had actually a fairly chunky role in it, but, like, this is just so weird. This was so weird. It was such a weird last 5 minutes. And it ends with like a fucking sci-fi symbol, like a fucking, like, I don't know, it's supposed to be a logo or like a sci-fi gear popping up in his hand, as if the sequel is gonna be like him going to war on the space planet in a movie that was primarily a brother road trip movie with gangsters in it up until that point. Like, majority of the sci-fi doesn't happen until the last 10 minutes when he actually finally uses the gun. Because most of the time, all he's doing is like, ooh, I can open the gun, I can close the gun, I can open the gun, ooh, that's a button that does stuff, ooh, that, look, a shiny things, okay, gun away now, which, okay, fair, be responsible with your guns and all. But even interspersed, like, scenes where you feel like he's supposed to use the gun, he doesn't use it, except for, like, once or twice, maybe, at most. And then in the end, he just straight up fucking murders people without batting an eye. Granted, self-defense, but still, it's kind of like, we skipped some levels. I don't know. It feels like the gun thing was just a last-minute element that was thrown into this. And oddly enough, and I'm just repeating myself, and oddly enough being the part that kept me awake at any point through the actual movie. Otherwise, it's a paint-by-numbers, road trip movie, but with the gimmick that they don't really take full advantage of, and then apparently they want to make a sequel. It's gonna, I would guess, would have to have a lot more sci-fi elements, unless it turns out to be him, Eli, taking a road trip, Michael B. Jordan, but in space. Man, wouldn't that be a fucking letdown? But yeah, I honestly don't really have a whole lot to say about this. The actors are fine. The writing, not so much. The gun is cool, but there's not enough of it. Other than that, there's really not a whole lot to talk about this movie. So I'm going to go on a trailer so I can go home. Honestly, I probably have more to say about the trailers than I do about the actual movie. A lot of these trailers I've gotten before, so I'm going to skip the ones I've talked about 1,000 times already. So we got Peppermint. I've talked about that one before. It's the Punisher, but woman. Then we got White Boy Rick, which I think I've talked about before, but I do want to talk about it again because honestly, the last few trailers I've seen for movies, like, this is the one, like, I legitimately want to see. I actually really do want to see this movie because it looks like McConaughey has been on a roll the last few years. I mean, not saying all his movies are perfect, but he's definitely shown much more range as an actor from his romantic comedy days, and it's really good to see. So it's always kind of interesting to see what kind of role Matthew McConaughey will pick out for himself, and this one looks no exception. He feels right at home in this kind of rednecky gangster vibe going on. He just fucking owns it, and I really want to see it just for him alone, even though the rest of the movie actually looks pretty damn good too. So I'm really excited for White Boy Rick. Overlord I've talked about before. The House of the Clock on the Walls I've talked about before. Bad Times to El Royale. Still really want to see this one. I love the style. I love the trailer is cut together great. The soundtrack sounds great. Cinematography looks awesome. Really stylized. I'm looking forward to that one. Fantastic Beasts 2. This was a new trailer. It did give me a bit more hope for this movie because this trailer did definitely make things look more interesting than the previous one did, even though it still more or less looks like a Doctor Who ripoff. But one thing I did like about this trailer that wasn't emphasized in the previous trailer is Jude Law as Dumbledore. And now that I've actually seen him more in action, I do see him as a good pairing, as a good match for like a younger teacher, and that's gonna be kind of interesting to see from the Harry Potter universe. Honestly, like, the most interesting thing about Fantastic Beasts was kind of seeing other parts of the Harry Potter universe you didn't get to see with the Harry Potter series. Kind of like how that was the most interesting thing about the Hobbit movies, was seeing things you didn't get to see before in a Lord of the Rings film, like Saruman not being evil, just being a dick, that kind of stuff. So I like stuff like that, and I like that kind of exploring different aspects of the world. So that part leaves me interested. Do I think it's going to be good? I didn't really care for the first one. I'm not really convinced the second one's going to change my mind. But I'm a bit more curious about it now. And if nothing else, I'm always down to see more cool, magical creatures where they're magical. You can do whatever the hell you want with them. And there's one at the end of this trailer in particular that had a really cool design. It looked like... what's that character's name? There was a character at the end of the first Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla where a giant, like, furry lion thing comes out, It looked kind of like that. And I'm blanking on the name, and I know someone's going to correct me in the comments. Please do, because I'm really fucking curious now. But, so, like, stuff like that, I'm totally down for. I'm down for more cool creatures, stuff like that. Looks like they brought the characters I liked the most back, which was, like, the sidekick character. I thought he was a lot of fun, so I'm glad to see he's back. Everyone else, I could take it or leave it. And Johnny Depp, well, it's Johnny Depp. We'll see where that goes one way or another. That was that trailer. Then we got Hellfest. I still think this is such a wasted fucking concept. I mean, when you have a movie called Hellfest, I'm thinking you could do something like really cool and really like surreal, and like how cool would it be to have a movie called Hellfest where it's like the guests like literally like take a trip down like a very psychedelic hell, like an actual hell, like maybe like the devils and demons for fun throw a festival once a year because like the only time they're allowed to do it, and to do like they just fuck with their customers. They're not allowed to kill them because like some kind of biblical thing, but they can just fuck with them, and they can just torture, like just scare the shit out of them in all kinds of weird, surreal, and creative ways. That's what I think of when I think of Hellfest. I think of just like Night on Bald Mountains, like devils going crazy on people. That'd be and like people voluntarily go to this thing not knowing what they're getting themselves into. That'd be really cool. What we get here is a standard slasher movie, so maybe it's not really fair for me to project what I would do to this movie onto the movie we have, but it's more like, oh man, but like you could do something really cool with that instead it looks really generic and like 1,000 other slasher movies I've seen. And by the way, scary in this place sucks. Because the whole trailer ends like Scary Girl's like, well, were you scared? I can't arrest people for doing their jobs. It's like, dude, I worked at an amusement park during a haunt. There are specific rules you are not supposed to follow when you're a scarer. One is like you don't touch the customers. You're not allowed to touch them. And two, I'm pretty sure you're allowed to call on somebody if you're feeling harassed in any way, shape, or form. I think you're perfectly allowed to file a complaint at that point, because that is still bad, and that's still wrong. Unless they make you sign a waiver before you go in there. Maybe you do. Maybe that plot point's in there. I don't know. And then the last one was kind of amusing, which is the trailer for a movie called Hunter Killer, which was... It's London, like, it's a Gerard Butler movie, but in a submarine. So, like, if you've seen the last, few Gerard Butler movies, you kind of know what you're getting to. Like, kind of like how his last one was Gerard Butler in space, and London Has Fallen was Gerard Butler in London, or Gerard Butler at the White House. It's just Gerard Butler in various places doing a very American things. So, that one looks kind of like, alright, you're buying a ticket for that, you know what you're getting yourself into, so whatever, it is what it is. That was the last trailer, so, Ken, it's a skip. Like, I can't, it's not awful, and I'm gonna forget about this movie in a couple weeks, but, it definitely feels like wasted potential, I would say, and a wasted cast, but, yeah, even the acting doesn't save it from just mediocre everything else, and it's not, I don't even really say this is a matinee, because there wasn't really much to keep me interested in what was happening, because I feel like I kept almost falling asleep. So yeah, and later this week, we have Searching, which I'm hopefully gonna see, like, either tomorrow or Friday, probably to Friday, if I go see it, and then, because I heard that's getting really good reviews. Apparently I'm dead wrong on that movie, so we'll see. I'll be happy proven wrong if it's really good, so if you do, if I watch it and it's really good, you'll probably see me pouting, because I have to swallow my pride, so look out for that. Other than that, I think me and Grant are seeing Phantom Event tomorrow, which we may or may not review. Other than that, if you haven't seen many other videos on the channel right now, it's because I'm currently working on a new project that I'm hoping to have that I just finished writing last night, that I'm hoping to have recorded and start editing it and have it out by next week. So keep an eye out for that. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a big project. First one I've done like this in a long time, so I'm excited for that. And, yeah, other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye-bye.